What's up, guys? And so, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is less than weeks away from releasing in theaters. To tell that we have a brand new footage to go over, and that's in terms of TV spots that were released, revealing some new details and some new shots that we haven't noticed before. And we even have some posters released that could be relying on Rocket's fame. It's because with the marketing for this film with Guardians of Volume 3, and it looks like Rocket could be dying in a third and final Guardians film as well. And so in this video, this will be my full breakdown of the rated footage that was released for Guardians of Volume 3 in terms of TV spots, even going over the posters that were relying on Rocket's fate and so much more as well. And so if you're new to the channel and don't stuff like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so it's on future videos like this. And so let's get into it. And so here is the first TV spot.
Guardians, everything you love shall be destroyed.
Screw you, you stretch-faced, RoboCop-looking, purple nurple piece of... You don't know.
You think?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, rated PG-13. Tickets on sale now.
And now, with this first TV spot, we hear the High Evolutionary saying that he's going to destroy the Guardians, and then we hear Peter Quill calling him out by many names, and then he immediately hangs up on him. And now, even with they are packing some comedy in this third and final Guardians film, and with James Gunn himself, who said that with this film, it's gonna be so emotionally, even a packed with like a does that's going, and even with this film that's going to make us laugh and cry, it's so going to prove that like they're gonna still pack some comedy in here as well. And then in the next shot we see the High Evolutionary looks like something is coming out of him, and we see like a blast, like an energy blast coming out of him. It's probably like his powers or something. It's because even with the High Evolutionary, who is the main villain of this film. And then in the next shot we see Rocket trying to shoot someone, and with the way that it is a shot with a specific angle, and this is like from like old like classic kung fu films, or like many fighting movies, and even with the action in it. But even with the Rocket fighting someone, even with the specific angle of him trying to fight somebody, it's gonna be really cool to see. And even with this film and the way that it's especially, and this angle is really cool. And now here's the second TV spot.
Wait. 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 Go! Go! I was 8 years old when I left Earth.
You want me to drive?
No.
I'll drive.
Figure out how to put it in backwards.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, rated PG-13. Tickets on sale Monday.
And now in this second TV spot, we hear Peter saying wait, and this can take on many times throughout the little TV spot. And then I see us saying the word wait, and we see the Guardians preparing for the mission and powering up the ship to go on their mission. And like we see a Rocket ready to go for his action, and then we see it going by like super quick, and then we see a shot of Gamora, and she is fighting someone, and even as she's involved in the mission as well. And then we see a new scene of Peter and Nebula in the car together, and then we hear Peter saying that he was 8 years old when he left Earth, because that was in the first Guardians film when he left Earth, and even with y'all knew that I took a care of him, and with the neighborhood that they're in, and this is called like Counter Earth, and this is like the exact same neighborhood that we saw in the past couple trailers as well. And even with the marking of this one, I'm pretty sure they're still going to show Counter Earth. And now here's the last TV spot.
The Guardians of the Galaxy have no place in my world.
Kiss your mom with that face?
Oh no. Some corners of the universe consider him God.
It's a face-off. Well, I guess we'll die trying.
I decided die trying ain't our thing no more.
Ha!
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, rated PG-13. Get tickets now.
And now in this new footage, we see of the Guardians walking, and then we hear the High Evolutionary saying that with the Guardians that have no place in this world, and then we see something huge coming out of the ground, and now this must be related to the High Evolutionary. It's because he's the main villain, and like, even though with a rocket who is been created by the High Evolutionary, like this could be his place, it could be his layer, and with this building, and it is huge. In this next scene, we see a quick shot of rocket coming out on the High Evolutionary, ready to kill him. It's because with the rocket, he was created by the High Evolutionary, so the High Evolutionary must have something and wanted to do something with the rocket as well, because with High Evolutionary, he performs genetic experiments on the animals, and even with a rocket that wants to take the High Evolutionary down. And next we are Gamora saying that with the High Evolutionary, that some parts of the universe could consider him God, and that's with the High Evolutionary, with the many powers and many abilities that the High Evolutionary possesses, and even because he's evil and performs experiments on animals. And then we see as a new shot of Peter Quill running through a burning building. Even this is like a cool epic shot, and then with this one epic shot of the Guardians are ready to face off against the High Evolutionary, because with the High Evolutionary that wants to destroy the Guardians, and I just love this epic shot while the Guardians is staying together and ready to face off. And then this new footage ends with Peter Quill saying that I guess we'll die trying, and like this is what the Guardians are planning to do, is to take down the High Evolutionary. And even with these Guardians, and not all of them are gonna make it out alive in this film, as this is like the third and final Guardians film, of course. And then we just see a rocket next film, and like even as stakes are high for this film, that this film is rely on emotions and possibly even deaths. And now let's go over the posters that were recently released for Guardians of Volume 3, and that is just starting here with this first one, and that is involving a rocket. And from what we can tell, we're regular witness of the origin story of Rocket Raccoon and this final Guardians film when he was a baby, all the way up until now, because he was created by the High Evolutionary. And from what we can tell right here, that this is going to explore the origin story of Rocket Raccoon, even with a rocket that was part of the Guardians, and even that he was a side character throughout the entire MCU, and even from the first Guardians film all the way up until now, like he was like a side character, but now we've seen that with a rocket he's gonna get more of the spotlight. And now in this next poster that we see a camera shot looking through a rocket's eyes, seeing his Guardians family, and I just really love that with this film, that adds all the spotlight on Rocket, because his origin story is going to be explored in this film. And even with this film's runtime that's relatively 2 hours and 29 minutes, I mean, like, this film has to address everything, including for Adam Warlock and the High Evolutionary, and what got him into a villainy, and even exploring Rocket Raccoon's origin story in this film, that this is going to take a lot to address. But even with the movie's runtime, from what we can tell by the posters and the marketing for this film, it's to see that Rocket could be dying, and it could be relying on Rocket's fate. And even with James Gunn in an interview with Empire Magazine promoting the latest issue for Guardians of Volume 3, he said it's not about saving the universe, it's about the Guardians saving themselves, which it's true, because we see the Guardians not only saving the universe, they also have to sustain themselves from dying, because with this film we're relying on emotions and deaths, and even with not all of the Guardians are going to make it out alive in this one, since this is the third and final film. And yeah, no, with the marketing for this film, with new footage in terms of TV spots and the posters, I think we're in for one heck of a ride, since that this is the third and final Guardians film, and these Guardians probably are not gonna make it alive with the High Evolutionary being the main villain, and the stakes are high for this film, and even with James Gunn, who has teased in multiple interviews that this film is gonna be sad, it's gonna make us cry, and probably make us laugh as well. Of course, that fact some comedy there, but this is gonna be a more of like a serious film, because this is the last time that we're going to see the Guardians, and even with the marketing of this movie, it's the fate of the Guardians as we know it. I think like this is gonna perform big at the box office, and I'm just really looking forward to Guardians of Volume 3 and everything else that's been released for the marketing of this film as well. And so that's gonna be it for the first video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and what your thoughts on all this new footage with the TV spots and posters that were released, especially with the marketing, like putting on the spotlight on Rocket Raccoon. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for future videos and flag updates. Always follow me on Twitter. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.